14 years old, and here he is, William Kamkwambe. They entrusted him to save them all. With just scrap metal and his father's bicycle, the only mode of transport that the father had, they built a windmill. And that windmill brought power and water to the village. He didn't have power, he made it. And that is what the Nedbank Cup is. The Nedbank Cup is a competition where status, budget, and belief can knock out giants. The story is now famously known around the world. There's a movie, there's books. It's called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. From boys that harnessed the wind to players that harnessed goals and victories. That is what we saw this past weekend. Sundowns and Pirates. He went up there, took a couple of bicycles, and he created the wind. Why are you mad at me? Well, with these stories, Mark, we're going to look at what people are saying. They're saying, when it comes to big games, when it comes to games of importance, they name this game that passed, they name the Sundowns game, they say he doesn't show up.
How much more inaccurate can you be? Who's shown up in cup finals against Sundowns, scored winning goals to win them the against Stellenbosch in the cup final? Who showed up? You can't say that. I don't want to get into that.
Did you just say Sundowns?
Yeah, you scored against Sundowns in a cup final. You scored against Stellies in a cup final.
Okay, see, you really want to...
I'm just...
As well as Mark Haskins are going to be taking us through this journey. We've got the Premier League, of course, the Betway Premier League. We're going to be showing you what happened during the week. We're going to be bringing you this weekend as well. Teams that you might have never heard of up until this weekend in the Nedbank Cup. We're going to be showing you Arsenal as well as Man City and what happened in the Premier League. All of that coming up right here on Soccer Zone. For the Super Journal, as well as, of course, the referee, Victor Tlungwane Mazolo, will tell us what the draw did, who's going to be playing who in the quarterfinals. Tafik, we're not sorry.
Today we share penalties. There are many penalties that we'll be showing you today. But there's one Yakama Swanganyi. Yakama Swanganyi Landamane will tell you whether it was a penalty or not. So unga fambi tama laka Soccer Zone, it's Monday. Dalani kuluma kuma taxi kuma tavern sibuyile la sizokutshela na siqeda le ndaba manje.
Ayikhuluma nezulu ke shothi siserase kuzoyiqeda ke hayi saseki uyayiqeda. Let's take a look at the topic. This is what we like money ingcenye yohlelo ngikhuluma nathi siyabuza ukuthi ke iOrlando Pirates mubuka imidlalo yabo emibili edlule. Hayi cha engathi ibhakani amathaba abheke phansi. Siyabuza ukuthi kwenziwa yini lokho bengathi ke konke engahambi kahle kubhakaniya beya kumdlalo omkhulukazi weDerby ngeweekend. Tell us on SABC Sport, on X, on Facebook, as well as on sabcsport.com. But right now though, there's big news coming out of the Betway Premiership. Let's hear from the Super Journal.
Yeah, Andile, just hot off the press, that Nedbank Cup quarterfinal fixture confirmed. And here it is. Amazulu versus Kaizer Stars, who eliminated Orlando Pirates. Skukune going through against Amatax to now play Milford FC. Galaxy, TS Galaxy, that is facing the only amateur league side that's still left, that Jaxa Spears, who are hoping to deliver in this Cup of Dreams. And then the KZN Derby, Golden Arrows facing Durban City. We already know that we're going to have a new champion because Kaizer Chiefs already knocked out in the early stages by Stellies, who were also eliminated by the very own Golden Arrows. In that dubious penalty not given, but Tatana will tell us all about that. But now we go back to the Betway Premiership. Big week for Kaizer Chiefs when they host Stellies tomorrow at FNB Stadium, and then that huge fixture of the year in terms of the Soweto derby against Orlando Pirates. Here's coach Khalil Ben Yusuf saying, well, Amakosi might not be in the CAF Confed Cup. They might have lost out on the Nedbank Cup as defending champions, but they are hoping to be Betway Premiership champions.
be honest, this season you feel that is so close. Before you feel big difference between teams, but now you see even some people they think it's surprise, but surprise because close.
Yeah, apologies with the sound quality there, but I just want to bring on skipper Hlompo Kekana just to get his thoughts on where his head is at in terms of the title race. Khalil Ben Yusuf saying Kaizer Chiefs very much in it.
Yeah, they stand a big chance when Mazola, because when you look at the Kaizer Chiefs team, that they're on position 4 rather. They've got 30 points, which is positive when you look at their previous season, which is where they finish on the log. But when you look at the teams that are up above them, which is Mamelodi Sundowns and Sekhukhune United, Sekhukhune United lead Kaizer Chiefs with 2 points, which tells you if they win on Tuesday, they stand a big chance of overtaking them. They even put themselves in the position 3. So that is doable. There's still 16 games to go. So yeah, there's a lot of positives when you look at the Kaizer Chiefs team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a long road there. As the one legendary Pito Musimani once said, May is far. And I want to bring you an update on that Marumo Gallants' Moroka Swallows story that we broke here last week. Now, the latest is that Marumo Gallants have now filed a notice to oppose, meaning that they are going to argue in the next 10 days or so that perhaps they've got an ace up their sleeve in terms of maybe having already settled some of the debt that they are alleged to have not come forth with, and David Mogasha demanding the status of his Morocco Swallows top flight status back. But as I said, Marumo Gallants notice to oppose and hoping that maybe this could drag on past the current season, and if they do survive relegation, even onto the next season. But I'm told the head honchos at the PSL watching this closely as it could potentially keep dragging in the courts. We return now to Betway Premiership action, and just some interesting comments from Coach Manqoba Mngqithi. I spoke to him over the weekend about the KZN teams being forced to develop their own talent pool. He is referring to Sianda Ndlovu, highly linked with the big 3 moves and even potentially some moves overseas as well. And Coach Manqoba says, well, KZN teams have got no choice but to make sure that there's a conveyor belt of young talent coming through to be able to sell maybe to potential rivals as well.
That is the reality of football throughout the world. They are selling teams and they are buying teams. And the selling teams must make sure that their pipelines are stronger, to make sure that they always have the next breed, so that we saturate that market. And those who buy will keep buying and buying and buying, and our teams will get richer. And we'll be able not to buy at least 1 or 2 good players here and there and stabilize our teams and make sure that we can start competing. But we cannot stop the thinking that we should develop players in order to sell, so that we balance our books and we are able to reinvest a little bit and see what we can get.
Mark Haskins, Sianda Ndlovu, a player that's highly sought after. Should he be staying to make way, as Coach Manqoba says, to keep developing and selling and maybe even having money to buy more established players in KZN region?
I think the coach is very sober in what he's saying, because that's the reality of football. Some teams sell and there are teams that buy. A player like Sianda, he leads the league in assists. He's got 4 goals to his name in the league alone, besides the cup. So he's 10 goal involvements already this season, 4 arrows. He's a big player for them. They won't hold on to him. He's a player who's ambitious. He's going to want to move on, whether it's locally or internationally. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he can even go international. But coach is right. They need to always have a conveyor belt of talent coming through. And when they do sell, they need a recruiting team to know what's happening in the lower leagues even. Mtiani is an example. Stellenbosch, great find for them. Does everyone else have that kind of recruiting system? So that's very important for the league and for all the teams to know who they are in the league and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, and just wrapping up, we will have a big story this week around Samir Nukovic as well. He still wants his money. But Andile, that's it from us here, the sports desk, and you'll find more information on sabcsport.com.
SABCsport.com, my favorite address, definitely. Thank you so much, Matsola. I can tell you now that Ndlovu is thinking of overseas moves. He's hearing all the local stuff, but he's thinking of all the overseas moves that he could make. All the best to the young man there. Speaking of all the best to these three, calculated and selected for the MVP.